Alafia. Welcome everyone to Astrorisa Moon Talk, where all things sacred to Yamanja and Orisha Moon are discussed. We are changing up a little bit, doing some new things on Astrorisa Moon Talk as we really go into 2012. And what we are going to be introducing to you all are genres or specific topics that we're going to look at and or investigate. So let's start our conversation with opening up with prayer. Oni tutu, ona tutu, ile tutu, tutu laroye, tutu Orisha, tutu gungun, olotumare, ajugo bobo, ikualo, assemblese, olotumare, ibason. Mojuba, Bobo Eku, Bobo Enya, Mojuba, Bobo Eku, Bobo Enya, Simplese Olodumare. And we give honor to the four directions. We give honor to Onile. We give honor to all the four-legged and two-legged, the winged and the creepy crawlers. We give honor to all the sacred members and individuals of Onile of Earth. And we say, welcome, welcome everyone. We're so excited to start this new venture with you all. We have our first guest with this new modality of speaking to our community. And our first guest with our first genre of Earth is the Abba of Oyotunji. Abba Adejuyude Adefumi II is on the line with us. Sir, welcome to Astrorisa Moon Talk. We are so glad to have you. So glad to have you.
Adupwe Pupao, very happy to be here on Astrorisa Moon. And we would like to send greetings to yourself and special thank you for having us here and greetings to your listening audience.
I say, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is going to be an exciting conversation. It's an exciting conversation because we're going to be talking about things that are not always readily discussed, I would say openly or publicly within the Orisha community. And I have to preface this by saying that these conversations will always have leaning a little bit towards the Orisha community because that is what we are a part of. However, we are part of a global community, and it's really important that we begin to think globally, expand our thoughts. And I'm definitely not telling the Abba this as the Abba is coming from that venue anyway. And so this is just a wonderful thing for us to do. It's revolutionary, and I always like to look at things, tweak them. How can we do things in a more progressive way? Our topic, as I have said before, is called Earth. And this conversation we're going to have is going to be about taking care of the Earth, recycling. I did some research a little bit in talking with the Abba, which this is his passion, and we're going to hear more from him in just a moment. But this is very interesting, Abba, that the recycling movement is extremely large, but yet it is one of the least talked about movements during this current century. And yet this movement is one of the most inclusive movements out there because it's one of the largest multicultural and multi-ethnic, multi-generational, and multi-class movements during the history of America. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, and like we were saying in our earlier conversations is that it is the fastest growing revolution in the country and in many respects the world. And so, like I say, but what the interesting part about it is it's predominantly young people, and that's inspiring to know.
Gosh, I did not know that. I just did not know that at all. Just Absolutely, absolutely amazing, amazing.
Because I mean, it's interesting because the young people in their 20s and 30s are the people who are going to be around. You know, they're the people of tomorrow or the people of today. You know, basically in terms of the cycle of human beings. You know, and a lot of the establishment are mostly men of European persuasion or white, if you will, and majority of them come from a different time. You understand? A lot of them come from very different times because, you know, mankind has never lived in a time like this. The young kids who have a grasp on what's going on in the technology and how to incorporate it and how to view the future of the planet, you know, they're the ones in charge now, are going to be in charge soon, and their grandchildren, like my grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren are going to be the ones to inherit whatever we do now. And so I believe the young people are, you know, they're I don't know, I'm not a brain surgeon, but their wires are firing. Their wires are firing in their mind, and they can see the vision, and they jump right on top of it. And so that's why things are getting done, is because young people are stepping up to the plate in these small grassroots organizations and NGOs worldwide, mind you. And of course, in the United States, they're stepping up and they're being a part of everything in these organizations, everything from financing to designing websites to documenting video footage, film footage, photos. They are on the ground composting, collecting food waste, collecting wood chips, collecting our hay, and whatever the, you know, the revolution encompasses. They are on the ground level, you know, picking up the work.
Sure, indeed. And you know, one of the other things that I found staggering in researching this, because you know, in talking to you previously, I said this is just, you hit on some really interesting points about the mammoth of this recycling movement. And what I found was that in 1968, recycling has risen from 5% to now we are at 30%. It's 75 million tons of waste material that is being recycled, but in 68 it was 8 million. And so what are we doing? What is going on? What are we doing to Mother Earth that we have to recycle this much? And
actually, that's not enough. We should be recycling more. I mean, that's really minute. I mean, in terms of, you know, the real records, the stuff that they hide from you, America is backslid in terms of recycling in this country. Other countries are, you know, have great recycling programs with less money, but with more enthusiasm. But in the States, no, we don't recycle. For instance, in Canada, when you travel to Canada and you're going to have a Christmas party this year or a New Year's party, and you order, let's say, a case of Malta or a case of ginger beer or a case of regular malt liquor or a regular beer, whatever people drink, then, you know, if you're going to recycle every one of those bottles countrywide, you know, that's a standard. I've been to barbecues and parties and backyard parties in the States, and, you know, people, you have they buy a case of Heineken, and each one of those bottles of Heineken are going to end up in the garbage. So, you know, overall, America is backslid in terms of recycling. Of course, with the technology that we have and the money, it seems that we would be the country with all the newest, coolest gadgets. Well, we have the coolest gadgets, but not the coolest ways in terms of living. We don't have those down pat yet. And so, you know, it's really interesting to watch the developments in that area.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's something to look at as to why are we as a country here in America behind the times and being progressive and taking care of Earth. I'm sure that some of that has to do with the fact that we are as a country, really having a hard time changing our ideology, because in doing recycling, that means that you have to be able to change the way you're going to approach this particular topic, how you're going to approach your lifestyle changes. Mm-hmm. And so, we have a hard time changing something that feels comfortable for us. And so I think that may be one of the major reasons. I'm not sure. But
well, of course, it's comfortability. That's why when we were speaking last time, I asked you about how comfortable are you in your existence, your very own personal existence, and then try to subtract some things from that existence, and then you will start to feel like 9/10 of the population of the world feels. You see, and so we would really be able to put into perspective the amount of waste we create, and who the burden falls on, because ultimately the burden doesn't fall on us, not right away at least. We're gonna have to at one day at some point be where, if we don't get our act together, be where Cuba is today. In Cuba, they've reached peak oil. They don't have oil for everything, so there's older cars, there's no manufacturing, there's no high use of petrochemicals, there's no high use of farm chemicals and the like, and tractors and combines and the like, because they have cut back, or was forced to cut back, and so the key issue here is consumption, and as not just people in the Orisha community, because when I speak about the environment or go to seminars, it's always everybody's involved on this one. It's very difficult to pick and choose groups to work with, and that's really the key. That's really the key, is the diversity in it all, because what happened was, as agriculturalists, human beings are agriculturalists by design, we got away from diversity. We got into this mono thing. It started with, maybe some people might even say it moved over into the sociology of the people, where, we decided that, one race is better than the other race, or one people is greater than the other. So what happened? Then people would start planting crops and say, this crop is better than that crop. Use this crop because it does this. And so out of the, hundreds of thousands rather, of different type of variety of foods that man has created over the centuries, nowadays we slimmed it down to just about 30 or 40. Just a minute few of a type of foods we eat in variety. Like, a lot of people don't know there are purple carrots and blue carrots and purple potatoes, all types of foods out there. We went down to the mono thing, everything became individualistic, and it became a monoculture, and a culture of consumption. How fast can we grow it so that you can eat it fast and we can get some more in your belly? You see, and so a lots of times, even myself, the first thing was realizing